Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Straight Out of Context. I am Barbara Ann, and I just want to go over this with you really quick if you have not seen this in the last 2 days. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is going to be at the La Librairie du Quartier du Jardin. And if you don't know what that means, it means the Garden District Bookshop in NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana. My biggest question goes to the person who scheduled and planned this entire appearance for her new book that's set to be released December 10th, 2024, titled My Time to Stand, a memoir. If you go to any of the websites where you can purchase tickets, it has a summary of what this is all about. This is about Gypsy Rose Blanchard appearing for an author meet and greet for her memoir, My Time to Stand. And it gives you a summary here of exactly what her book is about, exactly what her past in crime was, and about her embarking on her ongoing journey. Guests are encouraged to knock out some holiday shopping while they wait around the rink, which is a part of the building. But here you can see early bird, general admission, and book tickets are $35. General admission plus book is $40 if you do not get it early. This is the exact location of where that meet and greet will take place on December 13th, Friday the 13th, 2024. And for those of you who do not know, Taylor Swift has always considered 13 to be her lucky number. And these are all of the reasons why she has always used 13 as an Easter egg in her songs, in her albums. She's even painted it on her hand while doing tours or had the number 13 embroidered on her clothing. And we all know how much devils like to roll their dice. But this devil here is giving you a photo opportunity for your hard-earned money on December 13th, 2024 at the Garden District Bookshop. And if you don't pay early, you have the luxury and the privilege of paying her $5 more. But did you know that Friday the 13th is something we experience at least once a year, sometimes even multiple times in a year? There are positive and negative interpretations and connotations superstitiously related and linked to Friday the 13th. One of the most common is the link to ancestors and spirits. People like to use Friday the 13th to conjure or to connect with their deceased ancestors and their spirits, believing that that day is very special because the veil between us and the spirit world is thinner, which makes communication much more likely and clearer. And it says here, depending on the specific voodoo lineage, Friday the 13th could be a day that a family or members of a family would perform protective spells, cleansing rituals, and offerings to deities. While in Western culture, Friday the 13th is widely considered a very bad omen, with the belief stemming from the combination of the number 13 being seen as unlucky and Friday also having negative connotations in many traditions, often being linked to the day of Jesus's crucifixion. However, this is purely superstition and there's no factual basis to support it. Some theories actually link it to the Last Supper in the Bible, where Judas, the betrayer, was the 13th guest. Both the number 13 and Friday are considered unlucky in many cultures and religions, marking it a very particularly potent combination. Now, there is no scientific evidence that anything worse is more likely to occur or happen on Friday the 13th. So that may be chalked up solely to superstition. However, it is my own opinion, allegedly, that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is just obnoxiously obsessed with Taylor Swift and anything and everything she does, including her favorite number. Anybody that's planning on purchasing the book, please let me know down below in the comments section. if you're going to purchase it, if you're going to read it, if you're going to get a signed or regular copy or the ebook copy, and if you plan on actually reviewing it, because I really want to know. And for anybody who picks up on any discrepancies or lies or inaccuracies in this book, are you going to be then asking for a refund and returning it? Knowing largely what we know now about her life and her story and why it's so complex is because she was, up until a certain point, a victim of her mother. But then up until that certain point, she was no longer a victim of her mother. And she was a full-grown adult who made the choices that she made. And for that, we don't buy this mainstream narrative anymore about her life. And the fact that this has all been a huge plan for nearly 10 years now for her to monetize and capitalize on this defense strategy and this victimhood so she can profit. She should have long been living this self-discovery her entirety of her 8 years in prison. That should have been what she was working on doing. It shouldn't take getting out and now Ben Bella Books and a literary agent and Melissa Moore and Lifetime and all these producers and cameras following her around, filming her, helping her ghostwrite, to all take their piece of her pie. For her to stand up and say, no, I'm done. I'm done letting you all profit off of my narrative and off of my life and off of my story. Because when we face the hard, cold truth, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is not of interest to any of us. Watching her show is like watching water boil, or watching somebody pick flowers off of wallpaper, or watching paint dry. It is largely unexciting and uninteresting. So these new little made-up tidbits that she's never told the public before have to keep being fed with every new docuseries, documentary, every new book, every new ebook, every new reality show, because without that, the people are going to say, well, wait a minute, didn't we hear that before already in 2016? Didn't we hear that already in 2017? Didn't we hear that already in 2018, 2019, 2021, 2022, 2024? Because I think we have. I think we've been here. Deja vu definitely rings a bell. So instead of facing this new fresh start that she's had for almost a year now, how about we see the results of that? Because they're not there to show. That's the entirety of the problem. And this is why I am already suspecting that this book is not going to land well with people. And they're already projecting it to be a New York bestseller based on pre-sales. But that's very subjective when a book is marketed and a publisher or a publishing house actually has the money and the resources to do exactly that. Market and advertise that book. They can make anything a New York bestseller. But they have been known to also inflate that to market and advertise better sales by making you think it's a better book than what it is. And I don't knock her for taking her own piece of her own pie, while all these money-hungry producers like Melissa Moore and networks like Lifetime and mainstream media like TMZ and ABC and NBC and all of them are clamoring to get their piece of her pie. I don't blame her for making the money off of that. And it's really unfortunate, but until she truly tells the entirety of the truth and take 100% full accountability and start trying to rectify and make amends and atone for the wrongs that she's done to her other victim, Nicholas Godejohn, the autistic man that she manipulated for almost 3 years into being her co-conspirator. And he finally did, after 1,000 days, believed that this was the only way he can help the person he loved and was going to be with for the rest of his life. That this was the only way to help her. And because he's autistic, that's where the debate comes in